Guys, it's Kevin with Earth 2 Mastery, and virtual land will never be worth anything. Okay, so first things first, I've got my discount code down in the description below and probably pinned to the top comment. I really do appreciate it when you guys support my work and use that code. Also, please leave behind your code and like the video, and I will pick randomly two or three people, however much money I have, to use tomorrow to make those purchases. Today I was able to make purchases with 3 people's codes. I will announce those names and purchases at the end of the video, so stick around for that. And I also have a little bit of a gift for the rest of you, something I think might benefit you today. I'll release that at the end of the video as well. So I don't know if you've run into this, but I have in person and here on my channel and also in forums, people telling me that digital land isn't worth anything. Okay, well, I beg to differ, and here's why. This is an article I read many years ago from 2007. Might date me a little bit, but I've heard about domaining for a couple decades now. I always thought that I was too late on it, and it just kept getting bigger. So obviously I wasn't too late, I just thought I was. But here's a guy named Kevin Ham who was studying to be a doctor, but he started making too much money by doing domaining. And what he was doing was he was buying domain names and then reselling them at higher prices or getting money just from the traffic, like the foot traffic that we're going to get on our land. So he built a $300 million empire. He was making up to $70 million a year. So go tell this guy that digital real estate isn't worth anything. All right, moving on. I just picked some generic names here, things that you might do in the game, things that you might build in the game. Here's shoestore.com, estimated value $15,000. So somebody would pay $15,000, or at least they're guessing that somebody would pay $15,000. Oh, look, here's a list over here of things that have sold. Shoewarehouse.com sold for $12,500. So somebody actually did pay that much for that domain name. You cannot tell me that a fully developed shoe store in the game would not fetch that kind of a price. Here is donuts.com. Remember, I was talking about one tile businesses that you could start, maybe a little donut shop. And here is donutshop.com. They're saying is worth more than $25,000. So you get a donut shop in the game where people are already coming in and buying donuts or buying donut gift baskets or whatever kind of business you set up. You cannot convince me that it won't be worth $25,000 if that comes to fruition. Coffee.com, $25,000 plus. Here we go. Coffee.coffee already sold for $14,500. So I think all of us would like to have a piece of property in the game that's worth $14,500 and actually sells. So, if you have a little coffee shop, remember I was saying have a little coffee shop, somebody buys some coffee and sends it to somebody as a gift or just orders it to their own house. They can also buy little coffees in there to re-energize their character. Maybe, who knows? Maybe caffeine will have an effect where it energizes them, makes them run faster in the game, does something cool like that. Okay, so there are several instances of domains that are worth up to, I don't know if you caught it there or not, but this guy here, he bought greeting.com, not even the multiple, but just the singular greeting.com, and he paid $350,000 for it. And this guy was an investor, so he was going to sell it for more. So it would not surprise me at all if you get a good location with good foot traffic and relevance to the real world that would be worth $350,000 in game. So, once again, these people are telling me virtual land won't ever be worth anything. Domain names are basically virtual land. Okay, so here's Bitcoin. We know Bitcoin. Everybody hears about Bitcoin. Not much of us know what it is. People call it digital gold. Basically, the only thing that makes it worthwhile is that it is scarce, easy to transport. So that's where it's better than regular gold. But you have one Bitcoin here. It's literally doesn't exist. It's just digital. $36,333. And this isn't even the high because just a week ago, it was like above 40,000. Let's see if we can find it here. $40,675 for one Bitcoin. There's 21 million of those. Okay, yes, there's going to be 50 billion land tiles, but only one in each spot. So if there's a relevant spot with good resources, or there's a relevant spot where you have actual foot traffic for the type of business that you set up there, there aren't 21 million of them. There's only one, right? There's only one Disney World. There's only one Disneyland. Now there's Disneyland Shanghai, but there's only one of those too, right? So you get tiles at Disneyland Shanghai, and then you do something that is attractive to Disneyland patrons, it quite possibly could be worth many Bitcoin. Okay, so digital currency right here that is worth something. Okay, now here we go. I'm going to show you something really cool. They keep telling us that digital land won't be worth anything. Well, guess what? They're already wrong. Well, they're already wrong in Earth 2 because I've already been having offers for properties that are over market value, over new tile value because they were bought in the right places. I've also had a lot of offers that are below market value. And of course, if you look in the marketplace, there's a lot of properties that are not fetching even 75% of market value. So it all varies on what you're doing, what your plans are, where your land is. But I found this property right here in Decentraland, and I'm pretty sure this is a mana. Okay, I talked to you about mana for a split second before because I bought a bunch of mana. Well, not a bunch, just a little bit over 1,000. So that I could have a plot in Decentraland if I want to, because you have to burn 1,000 mana in order to get a plot of land in Decentraland. If you're interested in getting 1,000 mana too, so that you can have a plot there sometime, they do sell it on Coinbase. That's where I signed up to get it. If you're interested in Coinbase, I have a link down below. If you use the link, then we both get $10 free in Bitcoin, which means that I'll have a total of about $15 worth of Bitcoin. So feel free to use that link down there if you want to join Coinbase, because they only gave me $5 to sign up. And apparently if I'd have had a link from somebody, I'd have gotten $10. So use the link and you get double what you get if you just go direct to Coinbase and sign up. So here's this piece of land that is for sale on Decentraland, 80,000 mana. Last I checked, mana was about 12 cents a piece. That's $9,600 for that plot of land. So it's not worth as much as a very expensive domain name. But I have heard of Decentraland properties that are, it's funny, they're central to Decentraland. So the plot of land that is Decentraland, they are in the middle of it. And they were selling for $800,000 to $1 million. So, if Decentraland can have properties worth $1 million, there's no reason why our game can't too, especially if it becomes Ready Player One. If that becomes a reality, Decentraland doesn't hold a candle to it. Decentraland is nothing compared to what this game would be if it actually comes to fruition. Here I have one more thing to show you. I was looking up digital art. I've never heard of digital art, but I thought, you know what? I bet you there's a digital art collection. I found out that in 2018, a piece called Forever Rose became the most valuable digital art item in the world, and it sold for $1 million. A digital photo. So I pulled it up so we can see it. I'm pretty sure we could probably use this as our background on our computer, and we don't have to pay $1 million for it. So, there's that. So obviously, when people are telling you that virtual land is never going to be worth anything, they just don't know what they're talking about. Now, digital land on Earth 2 may not be worth anything because, if Earth 2 crashes and, goes defunct, well, then it's probably not going to be worth anything. But if it turns into a VR worldwide game, the sky is the limit, and I'm there for that. So that's why I'm here. Okay, here's what I have for you guys. I bought some tiles in Moldova today because I heard that it was class 1 tiles. Now that didn't make sense to me because it's 49 cents a tile, but I bought a plot here and just to see if it was still class 1, and it happens to be. So I don't, if you were just looking around for it, you would see that it was 49 cents, which normally it's only class 1 up to about 27 or 28 cents. So this is 49 cents and it's still class 1, 49 or 59. I can't remember now, but it was still class 1. And so I thought you guys needed to know that because the world is running out of class 1 tiles. Now, I don't know if it's a glitch that it's still class 1 and it's not supposed to be. I honestly don't know. But I bought 2 different plots and they both showed up as class 1 tiles. So if you're looking for class 1 tiles, go to Moldova now because who knows how long that's going to last. And I've got my 3 people who I was able to make purchases with your codes today. The first one is Ross Bird. Thank you very much for leaving a comment. I bought tiles on our island in Grenada for Masters United. And you should see that's close to $30 there. Czar or XZar YT. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Thank you for helping me out and using my code. I bought tiles in Grenada and also tiles in Moldova. This is one of the plots that I bought for you to get credit there. So double check that. Make sure you got the credit. It was right at $30. And Mike Alex, today's your lucky day. I know we were talking earlier. You said it was day 11 that you were trying to get me to use your code. And apparently that's your magic number. So if you play the lottery, maybe use number 11. I bought tiles in Moldova with your code, and it was just over $30. That's all the money I have to spend today, and I appreciate you guys participating. I will see you tomorrow.